Hello, my name's Mark. I've been asked to talk about one of my hobbies. Record collecting isn't really a hobby. I think it's more like an addiction. I've been looking at how many records I've got, and I must have over 1,000 records. And I've been doing this for almost 40 years. So that works out that I'm buying a record every 2 weeks on average. Well, that's just too much, and I just haven't been able to stop either, because I'm still buying records. I've got records on my Christmas list. I'm clearly an addict, but there's nobody to go and speak to except the nice man at the record shop, and he just gives me more. So I don't know what to do. I think I'll just have to accept I'm an addict. Yeah, I've sometimes thought about how did I start this record collecting, and because obviously, the Beatles. Everybody says you're from Liverpool. Oh, you must grew up listening to the Beatles. Well, we didn't actually, because they had their first hit record in 1963. I was still in nappies then. But what the Beatles did do, they went and conquered America, and then America gave us back their version called The Monkees. It was a TV show in the 1960s, and my mum could see that we were really quite keen on this, so she buys me the second Monkees album from the local electrical shop in the village. And I've still got it. I do listen to it, but I listen to the re-released, remastered, repressed version, which is still sort of very good. But I had to physically put the record on my parents' record player to listen to it. So I spent a lot of time listening to records on my parents' radiogram, listening to things like Johnny Cash, listening to things like the Clancy Brothers. They used to play a lot of James Last, not too keen on him. Then I then got myself a job when it's about sort of 13, 14 as a kitchen porter. And I actually went out and I was able to buy myself a record player. Well, that was the start of the addiction full time then, wasn't it? Because I had something to spend my money on. And then I used to visit Douglas Smith's, the local record shop. Boots used to sell records for back in the day. And the collection just grew from there. And 1990s were a difficult time when you were collecting records because the CDs had arrived. I did buy CDs, as you can see. I wasn't immune from them and all that, but I still used to hunt down the records when they became available. If you persevered, they used to do limited runs of albums and you used to be able to get them. So I got quite a few of the early REM things, the Blur, Oasis, they all came out in vinyl. And then it all went a bit quiet. But the past 10 years has seen this big resurgence in vinyl sales. And apparently vinyl sales now outstrip CDs. CDs still offer good value and all that. Why do people follow vinyls more than CDs? Well, I think there are various reasons. One is it's a more physical medium. It's 12 inches. You can put more information onto the album cover and things like that. And it's also the tactile bit of actually taking a record out and playing it. But another point, I think, is that the CDs, the maximum length of the CD is about 74 minutes. A record, to get the best out of it, is probably 20 minutes either side, which is why most records are probably between sort of 28 minutes to about 38 minutes. If you try to put more tracks onto the record, the grooves get too close together, so you don't get the full benefit of the sound pre-production. So we had bands like Dire Straits. All of a sudden they got 72 minutes. It allowed them to become self-indulgent. They had to fill the whole record. Fleetwood Mac Rumours clocks in at probably 38 minutes. Dire Straits, who listens to Brothers in Arms now? It goes on forever. Anyway, and if you buy it on vinyl, you get 2 records. So that means you're up and down all the time changing. And the other thing is, well, I think it's been proven that people's attention span is probably best for 20 minutes, which is the length of one side of a record. So records fit the human psyche. which is why more and more people are just buying them now. So now it's almost like, it's like another golden age for collecting vinyl.